That's a problem. Okay, so we have to see how encapsulation works. Inheritance we have already seen. So encapsulation, actually, by just defining a class, we encapsulate the data, but we have to see how encapsulation actually works and how we can manage the data. So let's have a class count, and then we can have a function here, define. Remember, we need two underscores, and nothing here, just count CTR. I use normally use CTR to count. Starting with your coordinator. Okay, fine. So we'll just have a variable. We can initialize it to 0, or but we have to use self here. Otherwise, it won't. Self CTR is equal to 0. So now we can have more functions and see what will happen. Now I'll define a function increment. I have to put self there. And let's increase that. Increase, we can increment this counter or CTR. I normally use CTR, but CTR plus is equal to 1. This means CTR is equal to CTR plus 1. Self.ctr is self.ctr plus 1. Your increment. So you can put pre and post fix operators we have. Okay, pre is before, post is after. You can't put here before the variable, but here you can. Now let's have another function. We'll just put it as value. Self we have to put. Okay, then we'll just return self dot ctr. Okay. And we have another function, reset. We are just resetting that to again 0. This is just to see how encapsulation would work. As of now, this is a simple class. I'll just run it to see if the syntax is okay. If I have not done any typing errors, I don't see any, but let's see. Function is okay. So we have a net function, increment, then value, and then reset. Okay, that's fine. Now to access it, we need an object to it. And let's say we have to create an object, so I can have this count is equal to count. We can have something like this, a capital and a small one. Now count dot increment. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's put it. We have this. Let's put here that CTR is an attribute. We call attribute there. So we have a increment, decrement of the functions we have an attribute to CTR. Okay, let's call it. We'll call it once again. We'll call it a number of times. I'll just print it and show you what happens. So print. Sorry. To access it, I need count. To access it here, not sit here. That's one. Two. So if I make it 4 times, it will be 4 times. The problem with this is it's not completely. This is accessible outside the class also. Okay, so output we get, but if I want to reset that, I can even reset it. I can just have it again. In encapsulation, we should not be able to reset that. So if I say CTR is equal to -101 and target, the value of CTR will not be 3 or 4, it will be -101. So I'm able to reset that, and that should not happen. Okay. It's right here. And reset the attribute. Okay. But this should not happen as far as encapsulation is concerned. That means we are not able to protect it, but we should be. So we need a private attribute. You need private attributes that we can. Okay, spelling mistake. Let me correct it. So that I can protect them. And to do that, I'll just put some text here first. We have underscore. A single underscore I can give. Okay. Okay, so private attributes, they can be accessible only from the method, the class. Okay, that means we cannot access it outside the class, but here CTR can be accessed. So Python actually doesn't have a concept of a private attribute. So what we have to do is that is all attributes we can access outside the class, but we have something called we need a private attribute, and that we can use by putting a single underscore before the attribute. That means the variable. Okay, so we have something like that. So we have to manipulate and see. We have double underscores also, and we'll see that how it works. So I'll just copy it now. Everything I did here, I'll just copy it. But now I'm going to put underscore before this. And okay, where are you? Here. One here, one here. Just put some space so that I can differentiate. Okay, it's easy to read. Just before the attribute, that means just before the variable, we'll put an underscore, a single underscore, not double, like this. This actually means it is uh, your constructor type things. Okay, we can do that, and we can now run it and see if we can make any changes or make any difference. Sorry. So let's see. Let's create the thing. This will work as it is. This should not create any problem. And even okay, I have to run this first. This also won't make much difference. We have something else which we can use actually. See, but it is because of the underscore. There is nothing like a CTR, so we need an underscore and see if it works. Yes, it does. But can we reset it? Let's do it. To give it more protection, we have something else that is called name mangling. So we'll just see what happens. Again, you can see that it is not equal. One minute. I have to put underscore. Now you can see that it is 1 minus 101. So again, you can see that although this declares it as a private, but outside the class it is accessible, and that is what Python allows. But we have something called name mangling. Name mangling. That means you can put a double underscore. Error. You can put double underscore and do that, prefix it with a double underscore, and let's see now again what happens. Now double underscore. This on it. This is to just see what things are working properly or not. Okay. Let's have a count. I have to copy it, otherwise it's okay. Let me try to access it directly. And just access the variable. Or I'll just print it first. Let's do it this way. This is double underscore, so we'll have to change it. It will run it now. It will tell me that count object has no attribute underscore CTR. So you cannot access it now. Okay. Now, if you want to access it, if you want to print it, you have to do it inside the class, not outside. If you want to do it outside, you can do this actually. But how? Let's do it. I'll have to use the class name. Without the class name, it won't. With the object, it won't work. But something like this. It's not working. It should. Let's count. Oh, there's one underscore there also. I think we have put an underscore there. It is not working. Let me see. It should work. We have some underscore there. It won't work this way also. That means it is protected fully, but there should be a access. Let me see. Count. This is count. Count CTR. Yeah, we don't have anything like that. Let me try with this example. There's another one. Let's copy it. It is not taking it. That's okay. Let's open it and see if I can do it this way. So this won't work, but the other one should work. That is another object I create. I did not create an object again. So let's see. I was using the same. So let me copy it. Not make any difference. Yeah, it won't work. And in this case, let's see if it works. It is same. The only thing is that the variables are different, so it won't work here. So let me comment it, because it won't go further. Now let me run it and see if the last one is working. And the last one is working here. So I may have missed something. Yeah. Count is there. Dot count. Is it the spelling? It's fine. That's fine. It's the same thing, but somehow CTR is there. Yeah. There's something wrong here. This is okay. This cannot be. You cannot access it. The rest is same. Class count, define, initialization, self CTR. I may have missed something. What I'm accessing is also important. Of the class I want current. The counter. Same thing. Anyway, that's okay. Let's see that. I'll check it and put it again. This is okay. This won't work, but this will work. Okay, so outside the class, if you want to access, then you have to give the name of the class and then you can access it. Otherwise, you cannot. So that is what your how you can actually use your encapsulation. What you have to do is you can use double score underscore or a single underscore, but accessing it inside won't be possible if you're putting a double underscore. So we can put it something like this. Okay, let's read it. Let's put the 3 points. Prefix activate with double underscore to use the name and link. Otherwise, you can have the private variable using a single underscore. But as we have seen, it can be accessed using the object of that class, instance of that class what we have created. So it would make it's not useful as such. Okay, so encapsulation you can have something. And let me see if we can something else there. All right. We do have abstraction also, but for abstraction we need to call uh, another module to do that. Okay. I'll work on it, but uh, let's see. Name handling you have to put. Anyway, so we have seen that. So let's have the abstraction now. Abstract methods or classes in Python. We have I can cover it. So we have abstraction here. So to declare abstract class, we first need a module. And that module is called ABC. And let me see if I can call it directly or I have to install it. Okay. Let's see. Import ABC, or rather from ABC, import from ABC, import ABC. So let me run it and see if it works. Otherwise, I'll have to install it. It is working fine. So by default, it is there. So we can have a class and do it. Put it in that abstract class you can put or whatever name you want to put, and then you can put some code inside that. So let's have it, and we need abstract method also. So we'll have to call the abstract method. This is just for privacy, nothing else. You have to give the class, and you can have abstract class ABC. You have to put instead of self. Let's give some error. Let's define a function, and here we have definitely put self and variable. Let's see, we'll pass to it print self, or you can put it directly also dot x. Okay, let's see. We can have more than one class. So let's have with one thing. We have an abstract method now, but we'll just see if this works. We have ABS class OPJ, sorry, is equal to this OPJ. Okay, I'll just put object ABS. This is okay, huh? Yeah, this is okay. I can all print OPJ. I can have one more method also, but it's okay. I'll put print. I have to put a variable there, sorry, a number there. So let me run it. You won't see anything as such, but here there's something problem. Some abstract spelling mistake. That's fine. Okay, now let's take it down. I'll increase that. I'll put an abstract method here. For doing that, I need at. I have to say that it is abstract method. Okay, yeah, it is there. It has come. And I can define task, and again self and print, just print inside the abstract method. Let's run it and see what happens. But if we have this object already, I'll just copy that. Just trying to save some time. Oh, great. Came on its own. Great. OPJ, let me call first abstract method dot task. Yeah, task here. If we pass to task, we just have to run it. Okay. Now let's run it. What happened? That is initiate abstract class with abstract method task. You can't access it. So let's see why we missed something, or I'll just create actually an object of the. I'll have to call it actually, so you cannot call it directly. So you can see that you cannot actually even create an instance of a class. So now what I have to do is I have to add some class, one more class. I'll make a one more class and call the class there. I'll make it as test, and this I'll call this APS class. Okay. define task here as self. Now I have to print where I am, so I normally type here, there, or whatever. So here I'm going to say inside a test. Okay, I'll create one more class, but before that, let's see what we do. Okay, so I just have to now change it to this won't work as we have seen. So what I have to do is I have to create an instead of test. Okay, so we can now call it using the object we have created, task and print. Both we can call. So let's run and see. So you can see that you cannot actually call the class directly. Class variable you cannot access, you cannot create an instance of the class directly. You can inherit it. You can call or you can put it in a class and another class and then call it. Okay, but you cannot call it directly. So let's have one more class in this and see what happens. Put everything in the next code. Create another one. And you make it example site example class. Now let me create instance of example and just copy it. I'll make it obj1 instead of test. I need example obj1 dot task obj1 dot. So far so good. It's okay. Put some different value. Let's make it 100. Now we'll see. Let's just copy something. Test object is instance of class is instance. Okay. So test APS class. This instance of it telling is checking whether test is an instance of abstract class, the one we have given earlier. Test is an instance. Give me some error. Let me see. APS class is okay. Oh, there is 2A. Company. And this is example. We're just checking whether it is instance or not. Now let's see if we run it. Okay, inside the test class 10, inside the example class 100, test is instance of abstract class false, example is instance of abstract class false. So it is not an instance of the class. Okay. Okay, so we can see that here we have one main class, that is abstract class, ABS class, which has ABC. That is abstract class that it inherits ABC class from the ABC module. So I'll write it later. So the break I'll write it. I don't want to waste your time here. Okay. So ABS class is your ABS class has an abstract class that is inherits ABC class from ABC module, and it contains abstract methods like you have the task and print. Uh, task. Yes, task and print. And just print is just to check. Okay. Two other classes we have. We have one is the test and one is the example. Okay, and both of them have a different task, right? So and what they are doing is we are having a they're inheriting your abstract class there. Okay. Okay. Now after the user creates objects from both the test and example classes, that is when we create an object of test and example classes and invoke task method, then the hidden definition of task method inside both the classes come into play. Okay, so these are actually hidden from the user. The abstract method task from abstract class ABS class is invoked actually. Okay, so that is invoked. You can see that it is invoked, and that is why you can see that yeah, this thing, your print statement is printing your method. Sorry, print method is invoked also inside. Otherwise, you cannot access that. But the task which it has is of its own method. Like test has a method called task, so that is invoked, but it doesn't have any print. So what happens if it has print also, right? So if it has print, then what will it do? Will it call the previous one or the present one? So let's try this. I've not tried it actually, but let me try it. Okay. Having bad cold today. No, I'll have to put another method. Let's have this. We'll put it in one that will do the job, because I just want to see what happens when I call print. This is 100, that's fine. And this has again 10, but which one is called? You can see that, okay, you won't know. So I'll put it inside um, ah, task. Oh, this is not task. Yeah, this is task. Okay. Task. No, I'm just putting it in the wrong place. This is okay. I just have to remove it from here. Put it here. Let's put that here. Test, inside test. Task. Okay. So let's see. And run. Which one is invoked? Overriding is possible or overwriting is possible. Let's see. This is inside test, so this is overridden. So the priority is given to the local method with the same name. Name is same. Okay, so we can see that this task is okay. We have a task there also, but in this case, the task is called here inside the test class. But when I use print and change the value, then that is called inside the test class, inside test, and then example, and all that is also there. That is already there. That's okay, right? So if I change the print value, if I pass a value to a method, then the current method is called default method is called. Okay, that is the local variable or local method of the class is called. Okay, so you can call abstraction like this. For this, you have to call a module and then do that. Okay, so not much of options you have, but if you're using Java, then you have a lot more options, right? So now you have a meeting at 10, so we can take a break, and you can just join back when you get when you're free. Just send me a message, so I'll be there. Okay, so let's take a break, and I'll share what we have done.